Hey everybody, we are going live. So let me just see if I can change this to live chat. There we go. Get everything up and going on my laptop here. Okay, see some kind of an internal server error when I try to click on my live stream button on my laptop. So, all right, that's pretty weird. But anyway, really just wanted to talk today about when things get a little bit out of control or if people go too far. No salmon suit. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Alright, so for right now I'm getting a internal server error when I click on live streaming on my laptop so that I can bring it up and see my comments there. So that's weird. Hey Dan, what's up? Hey Chat Charlie or Cat Charlie. Wow, tongue tied. What a tongue twister. Let me see here. You know what? I'm just trying to find where else I can go to that and bring it up on my screen here, but it looks like that's not going to work for me. So weird. All right, I guess I'm working off of my phone here today, which kind of sucks, but oh well, that's all right. I just wanted to kind of rant a little bit today anyway. All right, so this shirt here, Defend Animals. This is an Action for Animals shirt. I got this a few years ago. Just thought it would be appropriate given the topic. So I saw a couple of people today, or a couple of people, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, but they've posted about, taking the animal liberation, the power of interpretive dance. Oh my God. Hey, Chick B, what's up? Yeah, so a couple of people I know have taken the animal liberation pledge to not sit with people who are eating animals, and then I've seen a couple of other people who have released some content recently with some other kind of, shall we say, militant approaches or whatever. In fact, I had someone commenting on one of my previous videos saying a lot of crazy shit to me. So I kind of wanted to touch base on what everyone's thoughts are. So okay, Chickpea, you've chatted to a few people in real life that have taken the animal liberation pledge. That's awesome because I kind of wanted to talk about that and a couple of other things today. Um, I've got some friends. I've got a lot of varied friends with varied approaches. Some people are like, "Oh, let's be all love and light and calm and namaste and all that stuff," and then other people are like, "No, let's go blasting. Let's take the AK into the slaughterhouse and open fire." I'm somewhere in the middle. Obviously, I don't, I don't really prescribe to active violence towards humans, but maybe there would be a case if I saw somebody actually abusing an animal where I'd step in and use physical force to stop them from doing so. But yeah, so the Animal Liberation Pledge. I wanted to touch on that one first, though, because for me, I don't. Is the middle to go to the market and open fire? Yeah, I think so. That seems a little extreme as well. But speaking of market, I did want to touch base on a couple of the different approaches that some of the direct action groups do in supermarkets as well, or in places like Starbucks and stuff. So I really wanted to get everybody's opinion, but kind of also speak about what I think when people are doing certain things. We'll start with the pledge. Personally, I'm not going to take that pledge only because I fully believe that for those situations that are kind of unavoidable, especially in my workplace and stuff like that, um, I think that I'm going to be able to catalyze more conversations, plant more seeds if I'm actively involved with conversation. And, if things are happening that are really out of my control, then you know what, I'm going to have to just kind of suck it up and be there or risk, you know, situations with my workplace, which is my livelihood, which allows me to, kind of live and also pay for the internet and stuff so that I can upload. But Yes, chickpea, I agree with that sentiment, so I understand why people take it, and I think that really it's going to have to be on a case by case basis. And I think that it will work for some people and it won't work for others. If I wasn't working in a, yeah, that's basically the pledge there, Race. But if I was in a situation where I never had to socialize, working with clients, maybe even taking business trips and like having to like wine and dine people and stuff, um, then yeah, obviously, if my job, like if I could be a full time YouTuber or if I had my own business or something like that, then obviously I could be a lot more selective. And I don't go to like if my folks are having their Thanksgiving dinner or something like that, I'm sure as hell not going to their place while they're having a turkey dinner and stuff. Even if they did decide to make more stuff and have some vegan options there for me, or if I brought my own, I just don't feel comfortable with that. So obviously I'm not gonna like be part of that situation. I'll have my own Thanksgiving dinner, and then if we're around the holidays, we can always go and hang out with people and stuff like that. That's fine, like around Christmas or whatever. But I think that the pledge for me, from my understanding of it, and from my personal situation, would be too limiting. It would actually inhibit my ability to maybe even introduce the concept of veganism to certain people because I am exposed to them in awkward situations, and a lot of my work, a lot of my coworkers and stuff have actually made significant changes or are actually pretty excited about learning more because of the conversations we've had. If I just ignored them completely, they didn't know I was a vegan or whatever, you know. Um, Kat says, took the pledge last year, feel it alienates people in the process. Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's it's tough. And so personally I don't think I will take it, but I do understand why people do, right? So I'm not bashing it in any way. It's one of those things that for me might be going a little bit too far because it would eliminate opportunities, I think, for me. But um chickpea. You know what? If I had a sexy salmon dance business, I would have a few folks that would definitely be repeat customers. Take the pledge so I can report you for breaking it. Nah, I'm not doing that. Let's see if this will pop up on my screen now on my laptop so I can actually get everybody's comments. I don't know why it's like. So I get this 500 internal server error. It says, sorry, something went wrong, blah, 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 blah. It's like some kind of YouTube error. Whenever I'm trying to bring up this live stream on my laptop so that I can read the comments there. So it kind of sucks, but oh well, not a big deal. So that was that was basically one of the only reasons why I wouldn't take it. But they won't come because no dead bird. Yeah, um, you know, you want to see what the penalty is for breaking the pledge. How else are we going to find out? I don't know. You could always take it and then report yourself. There's an option. Ashley says, hey, did I just jump on? Yeah, it's only been like 8.5 minutes of me just rambling about the Animal Liberation Pledge. And so I am trying to get this up on my laptop, but it's not working. So I don't understand that. I don't know why it's not working, but what do you do? Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll try a different browser. Maybe it's just like a Google thing, being dumb. What browser do you guys use? Just out of curiosity. It's the only pledge I've ever taken in my life is to never report myself, so that's not an option. Your constant humor is hilarious, Race. Yeah, so what browser does everybody use? I'm just curious, because I use, obviously I use Google Chrome for most things, but I also really enjoy using Mozilla Firefox. Firefox actually works really well for me as well in a lot of things. I mean, Internet Explorer, that's old school. That's like using Netscape Navigator or some shit, but I really don't mind using Mozilla. There's actually a really good add-in or like an add-on like extension thing you can put that actually puts a download button right on the YouTube video, like right next where you would hit share or something like that. There's a button you can just download the MP4 anybody's videos. So it's good if you want to like get video content off of YouTube and use it for something else for whatever reason, like good for collabs and stuff, right? Because you could, yeah, it just opens up some possibilities. Um, Vohan says Brave. I've never heard of that one, but I'll check it out sometime. So let's see if I can get on. Oh yeah, here we go. So with Mozilla, it's actually working. With Firefox, it is allowing me to open up this live stream so I can watch my comments as they come in, the live chat. So that's awesome. See, Google sometimes doesn't work for everything, folks. There we go. All right, let's see if I missed anything. So, Ashley, you say YouTube's late on notifications. I've noticed YouTube's not giving me half the notifications it should be, because I'm supposed to be getting like notified for everything, and I'm missing comments, I'm missing all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it sucks. Chickpea, you say that you hate sitting with people who eat meat. Yeah, I mean, I hate it too, don't get me wrong, but I definitely want to like, expose as many people to veganism as possible, so I find that it would be probably limiting for me to take the pledge. Ashley says, how cold is it for me today? So, well, it's stormy out there. It's not actually all that cold. It's just a little bit below freezing. But we had a, yeah, we had a snowstorm overnight on Saturday night, so I got to do a whole bunch of shoveling yesterday. And then this morning, because that's why I'm not at work. I'd normally be at work right now because I work Monday to Friday, but then yeah, we got another snowstorm that started this morning at around 8 o'clock. So it's about another foot of snow down. So I've got to go out and clear that up later as well. It's 8 degrees there. Okay, I would take 8 degrees right now. That would be awesome. 8 degrees and you find it cold. If it's not windy, if there's not like a cool wind or something, or it's not like overly damp, 8 degrees is shorts and t-shirt running weather for me. That's awesome. YouTube sucks at properly giving notifications lately. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, that's Celsius. So minus 20 Celsius, I deal with that pretty regularly. But even like, so even 8 Fahrenheit. What's 8 Fahrenheit? That's like, I think 0 Fahrenheit, like minus 18 Celsius. And that's not bad. All right, getting back on track here a little bit. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about was I've had somebody talking about how they were recently in a Whole Foods, and I have nothing against any of the direct action groups or anything like that, but a group of direct action everywhere came into this Whole Foods, and they were in there, you know, doing their thing and doing the protest and stuff like that. So my friend that was there, who is a long-term vegan and, you know, animal rights advocate for sure, actually thought in that moment, because that was the first time he experienced it firsthand, he thought that, you know what, he just didn't see the value in it, because maybe it was just this particular group, but their approach was they were just kind of yelling at the employees. And so they were just kind of like making a scene, and yeah, it raises awareness, but so it kind of raised the question, like, you know, here's these employees probably working for minimum wage. They don't know, like, they don't have any control of the situation. Had it been a little bit more customer facing, maybe it would have been different. But he said it seemed like these people were just like yelling at the employees and, you know, basically calling them bastards for like selling animal products. And obviously, we all know, I mean, you got to take a job sometimes. It's not the best job, but you do what you got to do because you got bills to pay and stuff, especially in the US where, like, you know, you guys basically have, like, no medical and stuff. Or you do, but you pay out the ass for it. So, I don't know. It just, to me, it makes it tough for me to, like, see the value in that, especially since, like, and maybe it's just because of, like, my profession, like, what I do. I have a lot of customer facing and client facing time where I'm trying to build and foster a relationship so that, we can have long term, large contracts and stuff like that. And so I definitely see the value in like meeting people in the middle a lot of times. And, it's kind of like sales and marketing 101, know your audience. So I didn't really understand why they would go into a store and just be like yelling at the employees, right? Because they don't have any control of the situation. When you're, yeah, like Chickpea says, when you're 18, you're working at a Starbucks or you're working in a Whole Foods. I mean, you're just trying to make some cash, right? I don't know. Personally, I didn't see from that tale, from that recounting of a situation that my friend told me about, that didn't seem like it made a lot of sense to me because I think that could put people off. So I see that. How dare I skip your comment and read Chickpeas first? So I was too busy talking. You t- okay? Are we reconnected? My punishment is a pause stream. Race, I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. I apologize. Looks like we're back up and running and good. All right, that was weird. I'm sorry, almighty race. I will never do that again. But yes, YouTube does need a punch in the face. The yelling and strong confrontation maybe more needs to be with the psychopaths and anti-vegans, not the average Joe. I agree. No, I agree for sure. Um, yeah, I got shocked for a minute. That was race sending through the vibe. Um, oh yeah, okay. So Ashley goes up here and asks, "What's up with that veggie rose girl?" Had no idea. Had no clue who she was. Is she carnivore now? Okay, so no, she actually isn't to my knowledge. Okay. I've really just wanted to eat some fish. I'm just craving fish. I just really want to eat some fish. What do you think, guys? What should I do? I want to be pescatarian. I've been thinking about it for a long time. And that's basically what she was saying for about, I don't know, an hour or something like that. And so, you know, obviously people were like, what the hell? Like, what do why would you want to eat fish after 3 years vegan? You've got this channel that you've built up for over or almost 100,000 subs. Like, why would you want to eat fish after this much time? Like, there's so many obvious alternatives if it's just a taste thing, right? If it's just a craving. Um, and then maybe it was, people were saying like, hey, maybe you're actually like, low on something. Maybe your omegas are out of whack or something like that. So people were giving her advice. People were, giving her vegan options and stuff and saying, hey, just do this, do this, do that. Don't turn your back on the animals and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know what she ended up deciding because she ended up deleting the stream. So it was up for about 53 minutes, and I think she just caught so much flack off of that she just deleted it and maybe is hoping that no one noticed or something. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird to see that because I mean she makes amazing vegan recipes. Obviously, she's like done really well and put out like a good like cooking ebook and stuff. And Ashley says, yeah, I feel like people do that to put out the feelers and think it's a softer blow. Yeah, that's all it was, man. It was just seeking validation. That's all it was. I mean, I don't know what she'll end up doing. I don't know if she's already actually started eating fish like months ago. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you were never vegan if you're just like kind of putting the feelers out there and saying, hey, I kind of want to go pescatarian. So you say that's what raw alignment's doing. Um, so I've never actually watched any raw alignment. I know who it is, but I was never subbed. I've never listened to her or watched any. So, but I'll take your word for it. What was something else that had come up over the last couple of days? There's a couple of things that I was going to talk about that she's an idiot. Okay, I'll take your word. Something else that had come up the other day from a buddy of mine, and I had kind of a few ideas before I started this up, but Cat Charlie like Tim Sheaf, yeah, yeah. So okay, let's talk about that for a second. You told her fish are swimming puppies. Yeah, basically. Race, easy, easy. All right, I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, so Cat Charlie. So months ago, um, you know, myself and many others predicted that that situation with Tim would cause a lot of negative, just bad publicity. What a headline, right? Like former UK Ninja Warrior, vegan top of the world guy, basically. Um, it goes back to eating meat for health reasons. So I had a Facebook friend, a guy that I've known since we were teens, share this from BuzzFeed and go on, and then there was just all these conversations that were happening in his comments and stuff on his Facebook post, and of course everyone was just like, see, veganism obviously isn't healthy, and like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and it was just everybody having all these crazy conversations without actually knowing and having followed along that story to see like the path and the pattern that obviously led to that person's decision, right? So, when you get a very misinformed and uneducated, just general public who doesn't know Tim or any of the history there, and they see that being spun, especially being spun in a way that like makes it sound like um, veganism was the problem and not like the urine drinking and stuff, um, not the 35-day fasting or anything like that. So it makes it really hard to like hold back and say, hey guys, like every single one of you are fucking morons, because like that's not at all what happened, and you shouldn't be just spreading this as like anti-vegan propaganda, because that's not at all. Like we called this, we knew this was going to happen months ago, and you know what I mean, like here's actually a clear path of how things happened, and then you tell me if you still think veganism is the problem. And a couple people kind of came around like, oh, that sucks that things were kind of misrepresented. And yeah, geez, I didn't realize that. I guess, I don't know this person, so I didn't know that. But I mean, how many people are going to look at that and do exactly the same thing? They're going to share that article and be like, see, veganism's nuts. It's unfortunate. Um, it's almost certainty that some of them are being paid off and the rest are under mind control. Yeah, so race, that's just it. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't know about with Tim, and I don't know about anybody in particular, but some of the shit that people are saying recently, and some of the ways people are just completely doing a 180 and like turning their back on veganism and just throwing the animals under the bus. I mean, this, like, I don't know. I mean, it seems like the only logical way somebody could be doing that is if they're being paid to do so. I mean, how do you just flip so dramatically? Um, but I don't know about. I'm not making that claim. I'm not making that accusation. But I understand why people would be like, "Holy shit!" Like that person must be getting paid to say this, because it's so counter to what they've had as a stance for so long. Ashley says, yeah, these people all suck and are making the vegan community look so bad. More people need to stop using the vegan label loosely. It's insulting. Exactly. I mean, if you're just gonna pretend to be a vegan and build a brand off of it, build a name off of it, build a following. Because see, here's the thing that really gets me. Okay, it's not like when people walk away from veganism or whatever and they turn their back and they say they're no longer vegan, it's not like they stop capitalizing off of veganism. Because if anybody has, sure, you don't make a lot of money off YouTube, but let's say you have 100,000 subs, and maybe you're getting tens of thousands of video views every day. And if you go to something like socialblade.com and you can kind of take a look at what estimated earnings are for channels, you can see that people are probably making at least a few $100s a month off of it, right off the ads. And it varies. Obviously it varies depending on how much watch time and how much ad watch time and clicks and all that kind of stuff. But like if you go to Social Blade and you look at the range they give you, it's a very big range. But if you go somewhere near the middle, that's probably fairly accurate. So when these people abandon veganism, it's not like they stop profiting. If they still have a channel and then they take it in a new direction and they, continue to grow, like all those old videos that are still getting ad revenue, still getting tons of views and likes and shares by vegans who just don't know. They just come across this video, right? Like that's still making this person money. They could be like, to hell with vegans, to hell with veganism and fuck the animals, but still be making money off of videos that they had up previously that are monetized with ads. Like, it's disgusting. So that's my biggest problem with it. Well, no, my biggest problem is obviously turning your back on the animals. But, oh yeah, but Stella couldn't wear a crop top. Oh, poor Stella. I, what a starlet. Drunk Avocado says, BuzzFeed are full of shit. I agree. Tim's going to be buying ribs from Betty's Lovely Farm, from wild-caught pigs, free range, happy pigs that were lived out their days out in pasture. Yep. Staring at the moon. It's crazy how they go so extreme to the other spectrum, which people would realize these are individual. Yeah, exactly. And race, biggest problem is I'm not doing this live stream using the power of interpretive dance. Well, I maybe it's just that my my interpretive dance skills are so advanced that you guys wouldn't be able to comprehend it. So it would make this live stream useless. That is my excuse. Yeah, they're more into their physique, exactly. I mean, so, and I don't want to like make it personal with anybody, but you've got people like Stella Ray, of course, who, I mean, just didn't even try, really. I mean, it's like, oh, I feel bloated, and like, oh no, I can't wear a crop top because I'm a little bloated. Like, that's so selfish. Like, oh my God, that's just horrible. Like, how can you possibly, some bloating? I mean, come on. Self-centered as fuck. Kim says, heard Tim Sheaf say on one of his vids years ago, he does another plant medicine plants. Yeah. You know what? There are definitely some long-term effects, neurological effects, and everything else from doing mind-altering drugs. And, I mean, I think there are definite potential benefits to some of these experiences. I mean, I've had a couple of experiences myself that I think were great, forever changed my life. And, I'm not going to say like, oh, all of this stuff is horrible, you should never do it. I'm also not going to promote it, so don't get me wrong there. But, yeah, I mean, obviously when Ray says some of the elves are evil, yeah, I mean, there can be some evil shit over there in the other realms. But no, I mean, obviously, there can be some long-term effects. I mean, I know people who used to do these things a lot or used to party a lot and have never fully kind of come back from some of these experiences, So, yeah, when you're dealing with mind-altering substances, it is a slippery slope. It's a dangerous path, and that could be a lot of it. Ray says, worst excuse ever. That's all right. It's the best I've got right now. It was pretty bold of him to name himself the Vegan Prince back in the day. Yeah, Dan, I mean, that should have been, that was kind of one of the early indications, I'd say, that someone had a little bit of an ego problem. I don't know. Toker Talk says, never go full vegan. All right, I won't even ask you to clarify that statement because whatever. Kim says, yeah, same here, did it all, still don't know what we're playing with, and shamans sell our energy and deals they made with spirits. Hey, I don't know. But yeah, it literally alters your mind. It really does. I mean, I know people that I went to school with, maybe partied in high school a little bit with, who, they're just not there anymore. I mean, they're not fully functional 100%. They've either taken a trip that just went too far. I don't know. Race, why did you unmod me? I'm not aware that I did. I really did not know that I did. How do I change that back now? Because honestly, I had no idea that I did that. If I did, it was by accident. How do I make you a mod again? I don't even remember making you a mod, to be quite honest with you. But, I mean, obviously you were, so. Um, click on your comment or image, you think. Okay. Hmm. There's 3 dots next to your name, and it says go to channel, report, or block. Well, I'm assuming I don't want to report or block you. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why that would have happened. But you know what? I'm not going to try to figure it out now because chances are I'm going to screw something up. I promise you I will try to figure it out later. Or can I do something else here? I think I know how to get to it. Am I using my owner account? Yes. Oh, wait. What the hell's this? I don't know what's happening, to be quite honest with you. No, I'm logged in as something else on my... because I had to open up Firefox. That's right. Okay, I'll do it after this stream. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, I will definitely do it after this stream. All right, so it's funny. I've got 1 like and 2 dislikes on this stream. So, okay. I don't really care, but if everybody wants to go smash that like button, that'd be great. How does one motivate themselves to go out and do exercise after work? I do most of my exercise after work, actually. So, for me, it's not that difficult. I just kind of get in the habit of it. But my work, then again, my work isn't like physically demanding or anything, so I'm not tired after work. So maybe it'd be different if you're on your feet all day or something like that. I've got like a desk job, so but for me, like I just, I make it a priority. I'll eat something kind of small-ish mid-afternoon or something like that, just to give myself a little bit of a boost. And then by the time I get home around 5 o'clock, I just run out and do my thing. And then I eat a nice big dinner and I'm good. Reese says, thought we were going to have to fight. Yeah, well, you know what? I've learned better than to fight you because you'll just shut down my live stream. So, Ashley says, so bad with consistency. Yeah, I mean, you know what? You just got to stick with it. All right. What was the other thing though that I wanted to talk about on this stream? Oh yeah, okay. So I had somebody comment the other day that that if they lived, because it was in response to like a slaughterhouse video, like somebody had done like a or like a rescue or like a vigil or something like that. And so the comment that I saw on this Facebook post was, if I was there, I would have like, fought or like messed up the workers or whatever. They're all evil, blah blah blah. Now, I can understand that sentiment, trust me. But then I think about some of the people who are former slaughterhouse workers who are now very, very active vegans and animal rights activists. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Tofu Tommy used to work in a slaughterhouse at one point in time. And now he's obviously like, a huge voice for the animals. So again, it's a little different, I guess, but it's kind of the same with people who, why go into a Starbucks or a Whole Foods and start yelling at the 18-year-old employee who's just serving coffee, but, is just doing their job. Like, so I can understand why, like, you'd think that these people are evil, but, like, I don't know, some people just don't know. Like, they've just grown up in a world that, like, obviously doesn't give a shit about animals, and they're just doing their thing. They're making ends meet. I'm not justifying it by any means. I know personally I could never do it, but I wouldn't say that we should go into a slaughterhouse and open fire and kill these people for doing it, which is what this one commenter was sort of suggesting that we do. That if there was mass violence in, worldwide in slaughterhouses, that eventually they would just shut down because no one would want to do the job. That I think is a little bit extreme. So I would suggest that we don't do that, but I'd like to see what your guys' thoughts are. Race says I should check to make sure my other mods are still mods too. I'll definitely take a look. I'm not even sure like who is a mod on this channel. Probably Byron because he's like a mod for everybody. But yeah, I'll definitely take a look because that's weird. Like I definitely did not recently, well since the last live stream, go in there and unmod you. Like that makes no sense. Chickpea says yes, Tofu Tommy and Banana Warrior Princess. Okay, I didn't know that that Emma as well. Have I seen Dominion yet? No, I actually haven't. I have not watched that. Yeah, people who do those jobs doing it out of desperation. I mean, there's it seems like those jobs are generally put in areas where either there are high unemployment rates or there are minority groups or places where they know they're going to fill the roles, like where there's going to be people to fill the positions. So I mean that's tactical, right? That's just business management. That's strategy. Like you've got to know where to put your location, right? And obviously those people who need the job so they can feed their families, I don't think are inherently evil people. But running with Mark. Hey Mark, what's going on, man? Hope you're having a great day. I was gonna go out and run today, but I've got about a foot of snow on the ground. Says Dominion is great if you can say that. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I actually do have it on my laptop, so I'm going to watch it soon, probably. But it's hard to watch, says Chickpea. Yeah, you know what? It's so hard for me to watch like slaughterhouse footage or even just footage of like vigils or people at at the trucks just looking in at these animals. I mean, oh man, like I'm not like a super soft guy or anything, but something like that can bring a tear to my eye pretty quick. It's hard for me to watch that stuff. That hits me right in the heart. Cat Charlie says I saw Dominion last summer. Brilliant but sad. Yeah. Can't do animal abuse videos. Makes me want to punch people. Understandable race. And that's where I think people are like, that's why people are so vocal about like, hey, we should go and like punch these people and we should do these things. But would it really actually help anything? I mean, no, probably not, right? Dan says, near where I grew up, there's a slaughterhouse. It was placed there for two reasons. One, by the cattle market. Two, low-income area. The workers walked the shops in bloody clothing. Yeah, so, I mean, that's just it. I mean, these places are going to exist, unfortunately, in areas that make the most business sense. So there's always going to be people who go and fill those jobs until, of course, we eradicate that industry. But it would help you feel better, says Race. Oh, trust me, I know. And you'd love to punch Carnival, or yes, Sverige, yes. There are individuals that deserve to be punched in the face, and I would agree with both of those choices. Ashley says, working with dogs, it's crazy how disconnected these people are. Yeah, it's insane because they will go home and they'll love their dog. They'll get on the floor. They'll roll around with their dog. They'll do anything for that dog. They'll remortgage their house so they can pay medical bills for their dog. But when it comes to the bacon on their plate, it's like, well, fuck that pig, right? Like, it's so disconnected. Great reason to question the ethical core of capitalism. Yeah, I mean, obviously when the only driving force behind something is profit, there's going to be some real moral shortcuts. Mark, forgot to say hello also. Well, hello. Seriously, not kidding. Yeah, exactly. One Auntie Venom. Hey, thanks for joining us. Your teen son is not vegan and you want it, so it's very difficult to make him sit down to it. But I feel like you need to while he's still home. But yeah, I can understand that. I mean, while he's still in the home and you still have that just kind of like little bit of like not control, but you know what I mean, like that parental guidance that can happen. That would be a good time. Obviously, it'll be more difficult once he's out on his own, so I get that. Drunk Avocado says, I saved a baby bird, then went home and cooked a chicken. You're one of these people. Yeah. Yep. You know, and I was too. I mean, I'm not claiming that I was never like that because I definitely was. I mean, for the first 30 years of my life, as much as I called myself an animal lover, I obviously did not give a shit.
Would you like some banana bread?
Yes, I would. Thank you. So, Jamie has just invited me for some banana bread. Well, actually, asked me if I wanted some. She's going to bring me some. So, yes, I do want some banana bread. But yeah, completely disconnected. I mean, like when I was a kid, I used to love going to go fishing with my dad. That was something we did. You know, fishing is big around here, Atlantic Canada. And I remember being like a small kid, and like I grew up in a very small area, and we had like a really small school, and you know, very local vibes. And I remember being a little kid, maybe 8 years old, and you know, I brought in like a feed of fish for my classmates. You know, we had like a little, almost like a home ec course, but it was more like tailored for like younger kids. And I just remember one day like bringing in fish that I'd caught myself and prepared myself for the, you know, and we fried them up in the kitchen at the school for the kids in my class. And it's like, you know, you grow up in that, you grow up in that culture, and it's hard to see what that really is at the time. But then you look back and it's like, whoa, how is that? How could I even think that that was okay, right? But they really need to make vegan films for children. Yeah, so they do have some great books out there. I think her name is Ruby Roth, and she has some children's books that are all vegan. Amazing, amazing books. I haven't read them, of course, but like I've seen her posting on Instagram and stuff like that. And so, yeah, there's an option. Um, she can't do that. That's just teasing us folk who are going to have to watch you have banana bread. Well, you're just gonna have to make some banana bread, Mark. I mean, it's not that difficult. Everybody go check out Mark. If you haven't already, go check out his channel. Great, great vegan YouTuber. Obviously, he runs. He's very good. Thank you, baby. See, she is real. Some people have questioned your existence because you're never on film, but I talk about you. Look at this. Nice banana bread with just a little bit of vegan margarine on top. I'll set that aside for a second. But yeah, go check out Mark. Great, great runner, great vegan vlogger, and does some nice, like, cheap, lazy vegan recipe cooking demo videos as well. Yeah. So, yeah, Dan, you raise a great point, though. It would be hard to get that past the education board for things like that. It might be a little easier in Canada now, though, that our food guide has changed, completely eliminating dairy as a food group and essentially not even depicting animal products at all on the entire thing, except for one little spot where they show some cheese and they show some maybe a small little piece of meat or something like that, but it's all mixed in with some other stuff. And yeah, so who knows? Yes, chickpea. Yes, good point. Bite Size Vegan has made some vegan kids videos. Absolutely. Man, I wish Emily came back to making YouTube videos because she is amazing. Cat Charlie says, remember being 7, seeing your grandfather getting a live fish. Scary experience. Yeah, you know what? As a kid, I did it myself, and you just don't even think anything of it because it's just par for the course, man. You know, it's like it's sad how disconnected I was. I wish that I had, and I can't even blame my parents or whatever because like, you know, they didn't know any better either, right? Like we've all been lied to. We've all been victim of the industry propaganda that tells us you need meat and you need milk and all that shit, right? So it's not like I can even blame my parents for growing up thinking that I need to eat meat or all those things or you know taking me fishing and that being part of my life growing up. But it does suck. I mean, obviously, I would change that if I could, but then again, maybe I've got perspective. So, running with Mark says maybe I could share the recipe. Yeah, okay. I'll see if I can find it. Jamie's the genius around here. So, Auntie Venom says for kids check out Vegan Evan. Okay, huh? I've never heard of that person. I will check that out. Amato, hey bud, what's up? Says, how am I? I'm great. I hope you and Armanda are well. Okja is a good movie on Netflix for the kids. Actually, I really wanted to see that, and I was absolutely like just floored. I wanted to watch that, and then it did come out on Netflix like a long time ago now, and I just completely forgot about it. So I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I'm gonna watch that soon. Mark, have I already made a recipe video for it? No. No, I haven't on my channel. And Jamie used to have a channel with all kinds of videos. She's private at everything. She's taken a break. But no, I don't have a video for it yet. But maybe it's something we can gear up soon. If not, I'll get you the recipe. And no worries, the kind words, you deserve them. Ray says, where are my kind words, you evil son of a beat? So Race is basically the best person ever, and definitely the only person who deserves my undying worship. So, as much as I've said nice things about Mark and Dan and anybody else, Race is the number one. It's not that I'm forced to say that, or they'll shut down my live stream, but no one has ever seen Jamie. That's not true. Jamie has made several appearances on my channel in the past and has her own stuff and, you know, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. She is real. I'm not a great ventriloquist, so I didn't, like, call to myself from out in the other room and hand myself this banana bread that was just given to me. Mark says, what's hard is, as you're saying, people aren't woken what's going on in the world, but then you give them the information, you make them watch things, then they continue. Yes, that is very difficult. It is very difficult to see people who you think are kind, compassionate, and rational, logical people. Like some of my best friends growing up, you know, people that I just had absolute love and respect for because they're just brilliant minds, you know, and just someone you can connect with and have deep conversations with, and they like will mock something like veganism. It's like so many of these people and some of the recents that we've seen on YouTube are the same. You know, they're these really great spiritual types, and you know they'll say things like "Ah, namaste," and they'll do all this shit, but they're so convinced that they are living beyond and above ego that they're actually being duped right through the back door by another layer of ego that they didn't even see coming. So it's sad to see that happen. But yeah, suck that, Mark, says Race Lever. I'm number one. Ashley says Jamie is a cat. No, Jamie's not a cat. Dylan is. And so is Marley. Just a couple of bobs. Cat Charlie, speaking of cats. Have I heard about the $1 million vegan campaign? Genesis Butler getting the Pope to go vegan for Lent will donate $1 million to the charity of his choice. Yes, that is an amazing, amazing campaign. Hopefully, I didn't see any update on that. I don't know if the Pope has actually agreed to it or not, but I think that's amazing because, I mean, I'm not a religious person, but let's face it, if the Pope goes vegan for a month and gives up eating animals for Lent, so I guess goes plant-based for the month, um, yeah, that's pretty insane. That's gonna have a huge impact on so many people. Chickpea says it annoys you more when, oh yeah, because milk, we need milk. Like, oh my God, you don't even drink milk? Whoa, that's extreme. Is that taking it too far? Fuck's sake. Yeah, it's crazy. I had someone watch Forks Over Knives and they tried to refute it. So many people do this, and it's hilarious actually, because the person I was talking about earlier, who was commenting on the Tim Sheaf thing, and they shared the BuzzFeed article talking about Tim and his switch back to eating animals and stuff. So, even with one of the last things this person tried to hold on to was like, well, yeah, okay, so maybe it wasn't the case for him, but I still don't feel like for the most part, people can actually be vegan like as a long-term thing. I don't think it is actually healthy for most people. And so then I point them in the direction of like so many resources, and Forks Over Knives was one of them, that prove that non-dairy or non-industry funded research clearly shows that eating a whole food plant-based diet is like optimal for human health. And then they are just like, yeah, well, I don't have time to look into that. So they can't be bothered, they can't be inconvenienced to look into something that might shatter their worldview, right? They can spend an hour having a conversation with you back and forth on Facebook, but as soon as you actually give them something that shows that they're wrong, they're like, oh yeah, no, I don't have time for that. Like, yeah, okay, sure, you don't have time for that, but you've got time to post about anything else for an hour, douche. Race says, if you aren't at least vegan, then you're pseudo spiritual at best. Exactly. Hashtag pseudo woke. Exactly. I mean, you can have good core beliefs, you can have good core morals, you can be an overall good person, but if you're not extending that kind of love and compassion to the animals, and you're refusing to, like, you were actively refusing to even look into it or explore it as an option, and you're actually against it, then no, you're just an idiot. Like, you're just egocentric at that point. And yeah, pseudo spiritual would be a good way of putting it. Chickpea, called an extremist because you refuse to drink Bailey's because it has dairy in it. Oh yeah, that's just extreme. That's so hard. I've got some running buddies that like when I started running about 2.5 years ago, I basically just ran on my own. I mean, I just had no idea what was going on, so I just did it on my own. And then I joined like this running group, and we ran on Sunday mornings, still do, every Sunday morning. And most of these folks are in their 50s or 60s. They're seasoned veterans. A lot of them have run Boston Marathon multiple times. So it was great. It was awesome to have these folks around. I learned a lot. But most of them just had no idea I was vegan because I never brought it up. We'd go back to the coffee shop after the run. I'd just get like a green tea, something like that. And it just never came up until we took a weekend trip away to a marathon last year, my spring marathon. And I'm with a group of like four of them, or no, it's probably like six of them. And it comes up because then we're actually spending time together. We're going out to a restaurant and stuff like that. And so it's so funny to see how their perception of me has changed in this last year as opposed to the first year. Like, some of them like don't even really, like, always have a big enough group run on Sundays that like people could just kind of pair off, you'd partner up, or a little group. Like, there's always someone running a certain pace or a distance. But it was interesting to see how some of those folks like no longer kind of wanted to pair up or whatever with me, even though I'd never talked about veganism during the running before. I think then it was just too awkward for them or something. So it's just weird to see how that kind of dynamic works. But yeah. Um, what the health blew your mind, says Drunk Avocado. Agree. Yes, Ray says there is a Bailey's Irish Cream. A vegan Bailey's Irish Cream. It's pretty good. Yeah, crazy extremist. What, you don't drink breast milk from another species anymore? You're so ridiculous. Race says you've oh okay, you've driven the Boston Marathon a couple times. Yeah, that's cool. You made pretty good time. Probably. I would imagine that you probably could drive that in under an hour. That is record time, actually. Elliot Kipchoge would be proud. Drunk says that's veganized. Chickpea says, what you mean drive it? Race is not a runner. Race is like an anti-runner who says that long distance running is why bikes and cars were made. So they're just being a little facetious. There's some goddamn good banana bread, I can say that much. So where's everybody chiming in from today? I'm always curious. Chickpea, Ireland, okay. I knew you were over there, but I didn't know exactly where. I know Mark is in, Dan's in England. I know Mark is in Helsinki. Belfast, okay, cool. I'd like to, Dylan, stop scratching. I'd like to check out Ireland sometime. Oh no, aka the shithole. You don't like it there? Yeah, Mark. So no work today because of the snowstorm. It's yeah, it's pretty brutal out there. Actually, let's see if I can show you what it looks like out there. You guys see that? That's all white. It is all white because of all the snow. Ashley says, I see omnis as cannibals. How much different is animal flesh from human flesh? So weird, people eat dead bodies. Yeah, you know what? Agreed. And so here's the thing, you know, when people say, oh, well, you know, it's okay to eat animals or whatever because we need it or blah, blah, blah. Like, I always think to myself, and you know, I've actually asked people this question before, like, okay, so if it's not a necessity to do it, but you do it because it's like pleasurable for you or something like that, then would you do the same thing with humans? And they're like, oh no, of course not. I'm like, okay, so now you understand speciesism. So now can you understand like why, you know? Race. My yard is ridiculous. I really need to think about starting NoFap. Yeah, when it gets to the point I need a shovel, it's time. No, you're right. Look, I got the day off, right? What do you do? Drunk avocado. Hull. It has the smallest window in the world. Or maybe just England. Byron, I think, is from Hull. Maybe you know Byron. I don't know. Chickpea, you got it. You understand. Thanks for playing along in this whole thing. Is there much you really need to actually learn about running? No, not at all. The only thing you really need to do is make sure you've got the right gear. So get yourself an actual pair of running shoes, you know, and do some research. Like find something that works. Go to a shop where people actually know what the hell they're talking about. You know, and maybe if you're going to be running Don't wear cotton socks, like wear technical socks, wear like athletic underwear, like don't wear cotton briefs or something like that, because that's just not going to be good. But overall, it's really just about getting comfortable with moving yourself forward at a faster than walking pace. And I would start off with just like doing, 30-second jog, walk for a minute, 30-second jog, walk for a minute, just something like that, right? But there's literally nothing to learn about it. It's just a matter of doing it and repeating the action until it feels more comfortable, and it will just come to you at whatever pace. um, Damn it, produce, stay out of the way of my pointy fingers. Yeah. Mark says, love watching Joey, Ed, and they articulate their message so well. Then I try to do it face to face. And yeah, you get a good point across, but don't own them. Yeah. Practice makes perfect. It really does. And, I've had some really good conversations with people. I haven't done any street interviews or street activism, but I've had some really good conversations with people. And I think it's really just being confident in, like, having a few, good go-to points and kind of having a game plan, but really just being confident in the message that you're trying to put across. It doesn't really matter too much if you're like, there's the best fact ever. I think it's more so just about being confident and them like being able to see that and understand that, okay, well, this person obviously knows what they're talking about and is comfortable and confident in this. So it makes it a little bit easier for them to feel, good about what you're telling them, right? Ashley says, do I stop on my runs? Sometimes, yeah. If I'm out just on a training run, maybe I'll go out and I'll do a little warm up, run for, a mile or two and just kind of stop, let the heart rate come back down a little bit, do a couple stretches or something like that, and then I'll, do my actual workout. If I'm just out like on a leisurely run, sometimes I'll stop, I'll take pictures, whatever, right? Um, yeah. Yeah, Couch to 5K is a good starting point. I would definitely check that out. Chickpea says, like doing outreach with Cube of Truth, just relax, have a chat with people. That's just it. Just have a conversation. I don't want to ever try to win a debate or anything in person. I think it's just about having a conversation and them feeling comfortable with the term veganism and that being part of the conversation in their life. Because really, that's how you plant the seed. You just make people think, hey, it's okay to talk about veganism. And just from that, there's going to be more conversations happening about veganism. And that's how you get the ball rolling. Amato asks, does Jamie go running with me sometimes? No, Jamie does not run, but we do go walking sometimes. Obviously not as much here over the winter, but we do tend to, once the weather warms up and stuff, we tend to get up in the morning, walk for about an hour, and sometimes in the evening again for a half hour or so. Or she'll walk while I'll run. And where we're at right now in this house, we actually have like a good road that's about just over a kilometer, maybe like 3/4 of a mile long, and it's just like a straight road, and it just two ends, like it doesn't go for a very long time, so it's just this one road and it's just a straight, so we can like go back and forth without ever being too far from the house, so it's good. Race says, I do smacktivism. Well, that kind of addresses the topic of this live stream, isn't it? If we look at this title, what is taking it too far? Is smacktivism taking it too far? I don't know. What about slaptivism? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's too far. Couch 5K is brilliant. Really recommend it. Since the summer, haven't been doing any running. Too cold. Though not Canada cold. No, it's pretty cold here. Mark gets a pretty cold up there in Finland as well. Race lover heroin? No, not that kind of smack. Nice to have a walking route like that close to your house. Yeah, it is, definitely. All right. I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. I need to just go and get a drink, so I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So, um, let me see here. More like I've gone to have more banana bread. Actually, no. Um, okay, so let me just see what I left here. The vegan diet has made John so thin he's invisible. See, I'm good like that. Did I go get more banana bread? No, I went to grab a glass of water real quick, and I just chugged that back. I've got some coffee, but I needed to chug back some water. Yeah. It is hard to watch the footage. Absolutely. It is really difficult, Auntie Venom. I agree with you there. I have a hard time watching that kind of footage. Appeal the banana fallacy, Mark. Appeal the banana. Yep. Imagine if you tuned in just now. Yes, if you tuned in just now, about a minute ago, actually, you will have seen me do my little trick where I start off turned to the side, and I'm so thin that you can't even see me, and then I just reappear. It's like some kind of a magician type thing. New Orleans. It is Mardi Gras here. Oh, really? You missed my cracktivism joke. Oh no. Well, let me scroll back up. Hey, take it easy. Cracktivism is when you pants them for being carnists. Oh, that's why I keep you around. Man, that's great. That's great. I like it. Ashley says, if you do the 24-hour live stream, would you ever consider doing a fast for the animals? Yes, actually, I do fast for the animals. Hey, Dylan, stop it. Stop. I do a fast for the animals. Usually the second of every month, I do a 24-hour fast, and that is in solidarity with the animals being trucked to slaughter. We wear a little mark on our hand, an X inside of a circle, and it's part of the Animals First on the Second campaign. So you can go check that out on Facebook if you like. Definitely a good way to a good passive way to promote conversation about veganism. But I would also oh for the stream, yeah, I would fast during that 24-hour live stream. So I would stay awake the whole time, fast the whole time. Yeah, definitely. Kat says do that every month. Great conversation starter. Yeah, it really is. Definitely. Sometimes if I'm home, like if it falls on a weekend or something, I sometimes I won't bother participating in it just because I'm just home, and it doesn't really make any sense. It's not gonna do anything, especially if I'm training heavily for a race or something like that. But I'll still share the campaign, make sure that other people are very actively engaged with it and stuff. Race says, I fast real slow. That's why you're the best. I wanted to give a shout out actually. While I think of it, I thought of it while I was gone for a second there. I wanted to give a shout out to the Phlegm Face. Yeah, great channel. She actually got me into live streaming. I had done one randomly last year sometime, and she showed up, and I had no idea who she was. And yeah, she showed up and was like, "Oh, hey, blah blah blah," and we just chatted. Phlegm is a lad, absolutely. Yeah, Phlegm is a lad. She's awesome, and so everybody go check her out. She just celebrated her 2,000 subscribers as of the last few days. Did a stream about that yesterday. Go check her out. The laddiest. Yeah, she is a laddie. So Why is a fast called a fast? I'm not really sure, but that's why breakfast is called break fast. Race Lover says, see, I would link phlegm if my mod powers were fixed. Okay. Well, let's see if Chrome will open this up and actually let me get on there now. And if it will, I'll remod you, and you can do your thing. My laptop is a piece of junk, so it has a hard time doing more than one thing at a time. But no, I'm still getting that internal server error through Chrome. So, and if I sign out from the account that I'm watching it on the Firefox, it's probably gonna like stop the stream where I'm seeing the comments and stuff. So, yeah, I'm not doing that. Ashley says, I enjoy phlegm. Drunk Avocado says, oh, I knew that. Yes, exactly. Breakfast is because you were breaking your fast from the night before. But no, I don't know why it's called fasting. It's like one of those weird words that have like more than one meaning, spelled the same, has more than one meaning. We've got a lot of those in the English language. No rush, just playing, but you have 24 hours. Okay. I will keep that in mind because I definitely don't want to be dead. Probably comes from Latin or something. Yeah, probably chickpea. But English is weird. It's one of these weird languages that's like, I mean, there are some guidelines, but not really many rules. And it's one of the languages where like the exceptions are almost as abundant as the rules themselves. So like I've, I learned French when I was younger and I was just about bilingual by the time I got out of high school. I started learning some Spanish, and I've dabbled in a few other languages, and it seems like for the most part they follow a pattern and they're fairly easy to learn other than just learning the vocabulary. But English is one of those languages that now that I just kind of look at it from someone who already knows it, like I would never want to have to learn this language as my second language. It's about the most idiotic language there really is. So yeah, I have like major respect to people who have learned English as their second language, even if they like mess things up a lot. Like to be able to understand and speak this language to a point that you can communicate with others, I think is amazing. So, yeah, lots of respect there. Ashley says, "Would you and Jamie ever get a dog?" Well, let me see here. If the situation was right that we owned our own home, we were in our own little plot of land, and a rescue opportunity came up, yeah, probably. Um, but as of right now, no plans for that. Our two cats, they're 14, so we've had them, for a long time, and no plans to get any more cats or anything like that, or like I don't even want to call them pets because they are really like companion animals who live in this house with us. They're like our kids, and so I don't want to like just perpetuate that. I don't plan to have any like pets or anything. But when my situation is better, and like once we buy a house and stuff, which is probably a couple years away, yeah, I could see like rescuing or something like that. Maybe have a dog. I'd much rather have a dog than a cat, I think, but the whole world should just speak one language, and then your homeland country should be the second language. First, you learn the world language, whatever it is, and then your homeland country. Yeah, you know what? Maybe someday that's what'll happen. Or what we'll need is those little translators that happen that they've got in the Star Trek universe. You know, universal translators. Um, just meant in general. Some people don't like dogs. I love dogs. I mean, I absolutely do. I love dogs. I think they're awesome. Um, but they're loud. They're smelly. Cats are really low maintenance, but trying to learn French. Yeah, French is a beautiful language. I like French. Um, Actually, speaking of this whole like kind of companion animal, pet animal type of topic. So I had someone recently tell me that all right, well here was the situation. Now, there are vegan cat foods available. All right, see you, Mark. Thanks for popping by. So yes, there are vegan cat foods that are available, um, but they're not like readily available and everywhere for everybody to get at all times. So there was somebody who had commented on a video I saw the other day, who basically called this long-term vegan not vegan because they had a cat, and said that you cannot own an obligate carnivore and call yourself a vegan. Well, all I can think of is in the case of my own experience. So the cats that we have here are 14 years old. I went vegan 4.5 years ago. Obviously, my morals and everything are just completely different than what they were 14 years ago. But so I asked that person, well, what is your proposed solution? You know, like what would you actually do in that case then? Like, let's say you had these cats in your life, basically like your kids or something, that you cared for in your home for 9 years. So, what would you do? Would you just euthanize that cat? Because, you know what I mean? Like, that was crazy. Now, that was actually a case where, in my opinion, that was a very militant, sort of like extreme or ridiculous thing. Because if you can't go back and change the past, because this person obviously has no idea of how linear time works, and you know the actions that had happened in the past would still have like consequences today, but that may not necessarily align with your current morals or whatever. But like, what is the alternative? What's the option? What is the proposed solution? So when I see people say that, that's yeah, exactly. That's where the possible and practical comes in, because I mean, what is the option? Do you just say, "Oh, hey, cat that I have loved for 9 years. Well, you need to die now because overall that would cause less aggregate suffering." Like, it's so ridiculous, you know? Like, that's, I mean, I get it. Mathematically speaking, yes, mathematically only, that's probably the best option. But is that a realistic or, you know? I don't know. I mean, I just thought that was nuts. Like, this person was basically saying that somebody who had been vegan for 5 years was a fake vegan. I just don't agree with that at all. And maybe it's because you know, maybe I'm just a little biased. Like, maybe it's because it's so close to the situation that I'm in. But um, you know, I can't see how you can not propose a solution for that. Anyway, but yeah, you know what? When you know better, you do better, and that's really what it comes down to. So. Ashley says, someone told you having children is more effective way to help the planet than veganism. Is that true? Someone told you that having kids is a more effective way? Because I'm not antinatalist or anything like that, but I would think that we need fewer humans on the earth. Or if we are going to have more humans being bred in, that they're at least like vegan from birth. I would say that having more kids is probably like upping the human population is probably the last thing we would want to do until we figure out our shit. I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't have kids, but okay, all right, sorry, not. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I don't have any plans to have kids. I'm not like antinatalist, but um, I would say there's definitely benefits to reducing the human population. Obviously, like we're not doing things very well. We are a scourge on this planet, so I can understand like why people like, hey, like you shouldn't have kids. But at some point in time, if we want to improve and we want to continue our species, well, then obviously we need to procreate. Race, you say you're pro antinatalist for carnists. Yeah, there's certain people that shouldn't have kids, that's for sure. Definitely. Really nursing this banana bread. So anyway, I don't know. I don't know what the answers are, but I think overall my approach is just to be like semi reasonable. And I don't think it's taking it too far, being extreme to like, you know, get upset or like to like rant or show some tough love or anything like that. Like I think you can still be reasonable, you can still be responsible, and it's not extreme to like get pissed off or like get angry about injustice. Um, but you know, at the same time, I think there needs to be somewhat of a balance. I don't think we should just start going swinging, you know, at the first non-vegan we see and just, you know, dukes up, right? Race says you are pro-natalist when it comes to vegans. Tell all the beautiful single vegan ladies. Um, I don't actually know any single vegan ladies because I only know like 6 other vegans in real life or something. Chickpea says I don't think I want to have children. Yeah, it's not for me. I've never wanted to. I can't even look after a plant. Hey, plants have feelings too, right? Plants rights activists unite. I said we're gonna tell on you. We're gonna tell the vegans and the non-vegans so they can get on you for that, chickpea. Plants have feelings though. Man, some of the shit that people come up with though, eh? Like, uh, like the whole plants have feelings things or like or whatever. You know, plants are alive as well. Like I saw this meme the other day. It was just great because it's like this guy was like, "Oh no," you know, and his girlfriend asks like, "Hey, what's wrong?" Um, and you know, it was the realization that plants feel pain or plants have feelings is actually an argument in favor of veganism and not against. You know, due to the amount of plants killed in animal agriculture, and yeah, it's just funny. It's so hilarious when people say that kind of stuff because it's like they're obviously just grasping at straws. They're just throwing something and seeing if you know, seeing what sticks. Because if they actually knew anything at all about the math involved, they'd be like, "Oh wait, saying this is gonna make me look like a complete moron." Stupid vegans, plants can dance and write beautiful poetry. Exactly, right? Yep. I Are you a beautiful female produce? If so, how you doing? I just imagine you sounding like Joey from Friends. Um, Drunk Avocado says I wouldn't trust a vegan to look after my cactus. Yeah, I mean, hey, I actually had some. I forget what it's called, but I ordered some online, or did I get it in like a vegan cuts box one time? But it was basically like dried spicy cactus. It was good. I don't know what it's called, like the actual food, but it was great. Where are all the varnish insect and plant activists? Yeah, I don't know. Get out of the way of my romantic and endeavors. Drunk avocado. Oh my. You guys are too much. You're a good crowd. You keep yourself occupied and quite busy, so I don't have to do much work around here. It's great. Uh-oh. Fights are breaking out in the comments section. Ray says, well, Produce, if you're a vegan, then that likely means you're at least beautiful on the inside, but you don't have a picture, so I can't judge the rest. Yeah, you know what? Isn't that really what matters anyway? Never fight me in a cage. I'm assuming you meant cage and not cadge, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one, drunk. Race, activate your mod wrench. I'm trying, man. I tried to do this earlier, but I couldn't. I couldn't get to it. It'll have to be next time. You guys can fight next time. You did, yeah. You did mean cage, I imagined, or you did drink. Hmm. Are you drunk right now, avocado? Like, is this like a constant state thing? Is this? I'm not judging you. Like, you know, hey, I enjoy a drink of whiskey every now and then myself, but it's a Monday. I know it's a Monday. That doesn't mean anything. Trust me, if you're gonna fight race, you're gonna need a drink because he's gonna mess you up, man. You're gonna need some softener. You're gonna need something to take that edge off because it's gonna pound you to a pulp. You get defensive when you're drunk. Yeah. What do you do? Drunk avocado's threatening me. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. That's it. We'll have to mod them. But I don't know. What's some other extreme stuff that us vegans do that might be taking it too far? We talked about that animal liberation pledge. I understand. So again, I understand that pledge. I understand why people take it. For me personally, I don't think it really works. Like I think I'm more effective if I'm just given my work situation and stuff. God, you guys are too much. Are any of you? I know a couple of you have commented, but um, do any of you like regularly do any kind of like group activism or street activism or anything like that, like the cubes or anything like that? Ashley says your salad looked good. Used kitchen shears with my salad to make it easier to eat and help incorporate all the flavors. Ah. That salad was good. That salad, and I'm not even big on salad really most of the time, but roasted Brussels sprouts and grilled onion. Oh man, this is a straight edge stream. I don't think so. I haven't said anything about that. Drunk avocado is a girl. Oh, we've learned something here today. So Chickpea says, yeah, Cube of Truth and protests against fox hunting, the odd save. Yeah, see, I definitely think those things are good. Actually, there's a Cube of Truth group that started up about an hour away from me that I actually want to start getting involved with. Obviously, in the wintertime, it sucks. I mean, I showed you guys what it's like outside there right now. It's just a sea of white. So it's a little hard to travel to these events in the wintertime, but I definitely want to get more involved in that kind of stuff, and this cube group is pretty cool. I want to check that out. We don't have a lot of like the fox hunting. It's not a thing over here. Um, you know, any hunting that happens here is not some kind of like group thing. It's just someone going off in the woods to like get their own deer or something. Um, but I definitely want to get more involved in the activism. Definitely. Which would you say is your favorite? Do you like the cube better than protest, or do you have any kind of like preference or any tips for any of those for anybody who hasn't done any of those things but would want to get into them? Because when it comes to actual face-to-face activism, I am a complete noob. So anything you've got that could help out, let me know. Drunk Avocado says, your mum is from Hull, the biggest council estate in Europe. Okay. So it looks like Race and Drunk have fallen in love in the comments here. Cubes of truth are effective, but boobs of truth would convert them all. Yeah, I mean... Oh, Race, you're hilarious. Chickpea says, like having conversations with people one-on-one. Yeah. And so at the cubes, is it usually that there are some people that are just holding the stuff and then one person or two people maybe just having those conversations? Like, I'm sure it varies depending on, you know, where it is and who's doing it and who's organizing it, but yeah, having conversations would be good. John, if you're gonna tell my jokes and read them aloud, you really need to sell them and have a good laugh. Give a good laugh. Well, here's the thing, Race. I'm in sales, and that's what I do all day while I'm at work. So I don't really want to sell anything. This is a day off, man. I got a snow day. I'm not selling anything today. Sorry, you're on your own. This time, maybe next time. But yeah, I got a snow day. I'm taking advantage. Well, I don't know, folks. Have I have I talked at you for long enough? Does anybody have anything else you want to talk about? That's insubordination, John. Strike one. Oh no. Sorry, Race. Master. I feel like I've probably rambled at you folks for long enough. It's 10 after 3 here. I wanted to do a few things, yeah, a little bit of cleanup, whatever, around the house, in my office a little bit before dinner time. But I can certainly stick around a little longer if there's any conversation happening more than Race and Drunk falling in love here in the comments. As much as I like to see a blossoming romance. You can choose to go in the cube or do outreach. If in the cube, you hold the TV showing footage or a sign, and the outreachers will have one-to-one conversations with the people that stop. Okay. All right. That's cool. I think that, okay, you can switch about a little bit. Yeah, I think I'd want to maybe just the first few times or something, first couple times maybe, just be there kind of like holding the screen or something and just watching other people, listening in and just kind of seeing how things go face to face. I mean, I've watched a lot of these videos on YouTube, of course, plenty of times, but, you know, seeing it in person, seeing how it goes in person is probably good. Ray says there's plenty of other people in line waiting to dress up as a salmon and heed my advice. Well, If that's true, then I mean, feel free, Race, to go and check somebody else out for the salmon biz, because I just don't know if I have what it takes. Ashley says it's never long enough. Is that are you talking about the stream, or is that in reply to Race? Ray says he's into me. I'm only into the ladies. I think Drunk Avocado said that she was a girl. So I'm pretty sure that if you're looking for a hetero thing, that would work. Chickpea stayed in the cube the first few times. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not that I'm like nervous or scared or anything like that, or that I'm even really all that concerned about it. But I just like to. I think I just like to observe a little bit first. I'm a visual learner. The stream, okay. That's probably for the best. Race says, "You have chosen me as the one. I'm like Neo if Neo was the salmon." Whoa, I know salmon foo. That's funny. You'd be good at it. Thanks, Chickpea. Appreciate that. Um, it's funny that you brought up the Matrix there, Race, because it really is like, you know, it really is like being trapped in a. Whoa, easy. Easy, killer. It really is like being trapped in something that just isn't real. When you grow up in a non vegan world, being raised as a non vegan. So it's interesting to see like now when I rewatch that movie, it actually does kind of like make sense on a just different level to me, because I can actually relate it to my whole like non-vegan upbringing and stuff. So it's interesting like how so many things that I will go back and rewatch now actually have just this whole different meaning. Like last night, Jamie was watching some Thundercats, and she put on her Instagram story this little clip of like there was one of these who was like one of the characters was going to go hunting or something like that, and was going to use this sword to go hunting, and this spirit or this other character was like, no, like that's unnecessary, we have food in abundance, like these animals deserve life and love as much as you do you understand? And it was just such a profound like animal rights moment and message in the Thundercats cartoon that would have obviously gone way over my head as a kid, or probably most kids. But it's cool now, like looking back and seeing that those little messages were in there. Yeah, just it's cool to see that. The Matrix, yeah. Guess race gave up on me because I don't look like an avocado. Well, Ray says you'll always be my first. Well, actually, here's the thing. You may not look like an avocado, but you seem like a really nice person, and I think that's all that matters, right? Yes, Thundercats. Chickpea knows. So good, so good. I love those old cartoons. Feel the magic, hear the roar. Yes. Yes. There's nothing like those like 80s cartoons, man. They were just like the He-Man and stuff. They were just so epic. And looking back, like I can understand why people might think that they were like kind of like cheesy and maybe even a little bit bad. But at the same time, they were so epic that no matter how bad it was just really, really good. Why do you remember the lyrics? Because it's one of the best things ever. So it makes sense that you would remember it. She-Ra, yeah, She-Ra was good. Another one that I used to really like. I think there was only like one or two seasons, but it was called Brave Star. And then there was one from either the late 80s, maybe even the early 90s, called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. That one was really cool too. And that one had a really cool message as well, because like, oh, I always liked dinosaurs as a kid, but that one, it was like the bad guys were using these mind control things on the dinosaurs, and the good guys were like trying to like free the dinosaurs and save them. It was cool. Did I ever see Count Duckula in Canada? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that was good too. And of course, like uh, Astro Boy. Astro Boy was cool. Yeah, Count Duckula. Yeah, I remember seeing it. I mean, I don't really remember it at all, but I definitely remember it. Lilith asks, "Am I an extreme vegan?" Well, that's what we've been trying to figure out. That's what we've been trying to figure out this whole time, and I don't know. What would you consider to be an extreme vegan? I guess. So I'll answer your question with a question. Race is an extreme vegan. But it really depends on what you define as extreme, or what your thoughts on veganism are. Lilith, you think that Joey Carbstrong is an extreme vegan? Why do you think that? What about Joey is extreme? Just curious. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just curious why you think Joey is extreme. Because it's a question worth asking yourself. Because really, Lilith, this is what it comes down to. The type of language he uses to describe meat eaters, well, so you don't think that we should use terms like murder or rape or slavery or things like that, even though that's exactly what it is? Just curious. I mean, I would say that you don't agree, but that's exactly what it is. So I think that your issue isn't actually with Joey using those terms. It's that you don't agree with the definition, or don't agree with remaining consistent with the definition of those words if it doesn't suit you or your human interests. You don't think those words are fitting, but that's exactly what it is. Forcible penetration of an animal is rape, just as forcible penetration of a human is rape. Killing, the ending of a life of a being, is murder. Whether, like, how does that make me or Joey or anyone extreme? It is apparently extreme to use words with definitions that are fitting for the circumstances, according to Lilith Summers. So apparently, just using the words that by definition are appropriate is being an extreme vegan. Wow. That's sad, man. Like, I feel really, really bad for you that you are so offended and triggered by a word that you fail to see what is actually happening, that you fail to see the reality of the situation, and you are projecting that onto veganism and vegans as being extreme. Um, I'm not reading from a script. You know how my brain works. It's like we're all reading from the same script. No, I mean, you just want people to be like Vegan RNRD says. polite euphemisms. Yeah, we want people like actually using the appropriate language and fighting for us as victims. How dare I use the dictionary to describe things? I know. What a bastard. Well, there we go. We found it out here, folks. I'm glad I didn't end this stream about 5 minutes ago because we learned today that I am in fact an extreme vegan because I use the words that describe the situation. Thank you, Lilith. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. No, I'm not triggered at all. I'm amused. I am amused that there are people who think we shouldn't use the words that actually describe the situation. Oh, man. Triggered by the dictionary. Merriam-Webster has your number there, Lilith. Yeah, and chickpea, that's the point right there. It doesn't matter what words you use. So, Lilith, if your problem is with extreme vegans using certain words that you don't like, which words is it then that we can use? Which words should we use then so that you would listen and actually care about the plight of these animals? How would you like me to word it? If not murder or rape or slavery, what words would you want me to use that you would actually have a conversation about veganism, recognize that these animals are killed by the billions, that these animals are victims, and that it's all unnecessary, and then that you would go vegan as a result? Which words do you need me to use, and I will use those words? You just tell me. You'll never care, and most people will never care. That's what you refuse to understand. Okay, so then you are just wasting your time and anyone else's. So that's really it. You don't care. So thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. I actually do appreciate your honesty. But the world's changing, and you can either, jump on board or not. That's fine. Like you can go elsewhere and put your head in the sand. You can continue to do whatever you're doing. That's fine. Like obviously I can't change your mind, so I'm not even going to try. But like your problem obviously isn't with extreme vegans using words that define the situation. It's that you don't care. And if that's the answer, then fine. Just don't project that off on somebody else and try to say like, "Oh, you're doing it wrong," or like, it's the extreme vegans. No, that all of that is irrelevant if you don't care and you'll never change. So why even make those comparisons, or why even like make those judgments on vegans? That's why meat sales are at the highest they've ever been. Yeah. Um, you're hilarious. Yeah, exactly. Vegan RNRD, it doesn't matter what people think of me. Ad hominem attacks against the vegans don't matter. What matters is the argument we are making for animal liberation. Exactly what we're fighting for. I don't have a savior complex at all. That's just it, Lilith. You are making assumptions. You are making judgments about something that you've already said you don't care about. You don't give a shit about. So, like, why are you even here? I mean, it's fine. You're actually helping to promote the vegan message by creating more engagement on a vegan content on YouTube. So, due to the way the algorithms work, I mean, you are only helping to promote the message. So thanks, I appreciate that. But I mean, what's the point in making these judgments on vegans on what they are doing or aren't doing if you don't care and you're never going to change? The Give Athlete, Sean, hey, what's up, man? Thanks for popping by. What, off work already? No, there's like a foot of snow down, so got a snow day today. You're not helping to promote anything. You're one person that walked into an echo chamber. Nice try. Cool. Cool story. I mean, you're here, you know? You are here, and you're creating buzz on this, so cool. Yeah, Lilith can't grasp base level reality. It seems that way. Yeah, you're here and not going vegan. Okay. All right. I mean, I accept that. I accept that that's the reality of the situation. Just like I accept that rape, murder, slavery, these are all words that accurately describe what happens to the animals. So, it's fine. Just accept the reality of the situation like I can. But you can't do that for some reason. Um, might as well enjoy this while you eat your smoothie bowl on lunch. Yeah. Wish you guys got heat days. Yeah, I can understand that for sure. See, the difficulty here, though, Sean, is that we have about a foot of snow down. It just makes it impossible to travel. So we just can't even get to work. So just to get you up to speed, we got this Lilith person says that, I mean, this person has come here and said that people like Joey Carbstrong are extreme for using the words that accurately describe what happens to the animals, but has said that they don't care, just that most people find vegans like you insufferable. Makes no difference to me. Okay. You know what, Lilith? That's cool, man. You can care or not care, and you can think whatever you want, and that's fine. Like, I really don't care about your opinion. You obviously don't know what everybody thinks or what popular opinion is. You would know what your opinion is, and maybe people that you know that's like-minded. That's fine. If this isn't for you, then like feel free to go away. That's fine. Like, this isn't about you, and whatever, right? Good thing most people share your opinion. I mean, that's not from my experience, right? So maybe that's your experience and you're trying to project that reality onto us, but you are in a group now of 12 people watching, and you're probably the only one who feels that way. So, um, it would seem that in this case, you are in the minority. If most people thought like you, they would be vegan. Well, I mean, veganism is on the rise by hundreds of percent, by thousands of percent. Like, veganism is on the rise, and it is a global movement that is happening at an exponential rate. If you don't see it, it's because you're not actively participating in this lifestyle movement, so you're not seeing the change. Or if you are, you're trying to ignore it, whether it's through denial or whatever else. So, I mean, you can pretend like veganism isn't happening and isn't the trend moving forward, but that doesn't really affect us at all. So, I mean, feel free to leave. That's fine. Most people who go vegan go right back to eating meat and animal products. That's what you're ignoring. That's not true, though. That's actually completely not true, because that statement proves to me that you don't know what veganism is. You have no idea what veganism is. That statement is false, because anybody who goes vegan does not go right back to eating meat and animal products. You're ignoring the actual definition of veganism. And it's fine if you don't understand it, but I'd suggest you go Google it and stop thinking of veganism as a dietary thing, because it's not. So have fun, have a good day, and we'll see you next time. John, one person you can never beat is the person who doesn't care. Exactly. Yeah, someone who rapes someone and knows they'll get in trouble and death penalty, they don't care. Yeah, exactly. Complete psychopaths. Yeah, Lilith doesn't look any further than YouTube. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Race, get your smacktivism, your slaptivism out for this one. So that's funny. Yeah, thanks for showing an interest though, like Chickpea says. I appreciate that. 98% of the world are psychopaths, I guess. No, see, that's not it. That's actually not at all what I just said. You have such a limited understanding of what veganism is and what we're even talking about here and what the point in promoting veganism is, that you don't even understand. Like, you don't even understand why people behave the way they do, and how people who realize that and move forward and go vegan see things completely different through a new yeah, you know. You're hilarious. Yep, appeal to popularity. And your vegan fallacy is, because you've listed a few of them so far. But yes, thank you for supporting the stream with all your comments. Appreciate that. You should definitely actually, okay, Lilith, before you go, um, go check out on Facebook the page Your Vegan Fallacy Is. Okay? There is there are several great examples of the kind of logical fallacies that you've already made, and clear explanations why they just don't work, why they aren't reasonable and logical when thinking about veganism in any kind of a logical way. So please do go check that out. This is a learning opportunity for you, and have fun. Yeah, any interaction on a stream does support it. Exactly. So thank you for this support. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, no thanks. So there you go. And it's because you don't care. I get it. So if you don't care and you're not willing to actually go and learn something, if you are in a state of mind that you have no desire to even learn or gain perspective on things, then, it's fine. Obviously, we can't change your mind, but it's pointless for you to come here and do this then. Oh my. Yep, your engagement does matter. Keep commenting. All vegans most definitely ate meat before going vegan. We've said the dumb shit you're saying now. Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, Lilith, that's the thing. What you just said, I'll never go vegan because I've done my own research and I don't subject myself to brainwashing. I have said exactly that. I thought that veganism was something weird, something fringe, some kind of a cultish thing. I really honestly did at one point. I thought that this was idiotic. But, and I think most of us have, like, thought veganism is fucking weird. But it's it's funny that you're here and you're saying all these things that all of us have already been through and we've already grown past. And it's not because we're weak. It's because we were strong enough to continue to wanting to learn and grow and evolve as humans. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I see real promise in you. I really do. I see a real promise in you, Lilith. I imagine that in about 2 years from now, we'll be live streaming together and we'll be laughing about this. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing your story. Most people aren't vegan, will never go vegan. Yeah, I know. I mean, I said all the same things. Yeah. We have almost all said all of those same things. So, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. The propaganda, all brought to you, funded by, big fruit and vegetable agriculture industries. The banana fund. Oh my God. Anyone else have their anti-vegan bingo card out? Yeah, Race, I'm telling you, man, this is great. We've all been where you are, Lilith, and I really do appreciate you coming here and sharing your story with us. I'm really glad I didn't end this live stream just a couple minutes before you jumped on like I was going to. Like Kay says, big broccoli, man. It's great. You're just stating the facts. Yeah. Think because I eat some Beyond Burgers, I'm an enlightened being. No, I mean, again, you think this is about food and you just don't understand. And that's fine. I mean, we've all been there. We all just have to continuously think and grow and evolve as humans. So, um, it's fine. Yeah, I'll keep cashing my check from Big Broccoli every month. They give me like $300 a month just to come on here and do a monthly live stream to try to bring people like Lilith into the business. It's basically like a pyramid scheme, but it's pretty cool. What have I done for the animals? I mean, other than personally not eating and contributing to the suffering of hundreds of them, promoting a message of compassion and veganism that has saved countless animals by other people going vegan. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. What have I done for the animals? Because I literally cannot quantify the impact that one person can have on this planet. I'm sitting on my couch and preaching to a tiny echo chamber. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I've got the day off work. It's a snow day. So I'm here. I'm having some great vegan banana bread and just chilling here, chatting to some friends. And you showed up, and, this is what we've done today. So, yeah, today maybe I haven't done a whole lot, but we've had a good conversation here, and I look forward to our next chat, maybe in a year or two when you've gone vegan and you want to be part of this stream to say about all the stupid shit that you used to say when you were non-vegan. I mean, I've made those videos too. It's hilarious, actually. Yeah, what a joke. There's banana bread. What a joke. Yeah, race, it's hilarious. We could argue their position better. And it's because we've lived through it. We know. We understand. It's fine. The vegan diet experiment. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, because it's just a diet. That's all. Just a diet. You got it. The vegan diet experiment. We're not all just a bunch of weirdos drinking piss and going on 35-day water fast, Yeah, exactly. Experiment. You want to know a vegan experiment, actually. If you want to talk about vegan diet experiment, go watch Forks Over Knives on Netflix. That might be right up your alley. The cows love all that I'm doing for them. Yeah, man, I go hang out with the cows every day. OG Mizzen says, "What's up?" Hey OG, what's up? We got Lilith in the house having a good conversation about all the things that happen when you are non-vegan and preaching to vegans about how ridiculous it is. It's awesome. Self-righteous for no reason. Why would you watch vegan propaganda willingly? I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, but no, Lilith showed up teaching us all about, actually just bringing back memories of, about 6 years ago when I was a non-vegan troll. When I used to comment bacon on people's shit. Oh man, this brings me right back. This brings me back pretty much to my childhood. Thank you, Lilith, for this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that steak that you don't buy is bought by someone else as soon as you turn your back. Right, because that's exactly how supply and demand works. The supply is always the same, no matter the demand. You got it. You understand supply and demand and economics perfectly. Thumbs up. You got it. You understand. Why didn't we think of that, guys? Why didn't we think about that? Why didn't we think about the supply just staying the same and someone else getting behind us anyway? Meat sales are high. I wonder if meat sales being high have anything to do with an ever increasing human population. I wonder if, however, when you looked at the percentage of meat or the amount of meat being purchased by each individual, and you see that plummeting, if that is also a logical argument. Or if it's just that, oh, well, since there are so many more humans, like, you understand we're going to reach a carrying capacity at some point, right? You know that we're going to reach a limit on our population and we're going to drop. Like, our population is going to drop back down, right? So if people are going vegan in mass, why isn't it going down or staying the same? It's because they quit. No, because go to, if you Google like population, current world population, and it shows how fast it grows, like you understand that like hundreds of thousands of humans are added to the planet every day, right? So right now we have a population issue, but a major counter to that right now is the rise in veganism. Sure, it hasn't caught up so that it's balanced out yet, but you look at where it was even 5 years ago to where it is now. Yeah, you're hilarious if you think that meat sales are high because people are going back to eating meat. No, there's public data about the vegan drop-off rate. It's easy to find. Yeah, that's probably on Fox News or something, right? Right? Let me guess. You saw that on Fox? Was Wolf Blitzer talking about that? Or was Pierce Morgan talking about it? I don't know where you're located. It was probably Pierce Morgan, wasn't it? Public data, though. Yeah. Internet, though. So funny. And I might add that even despite all of the previous comments here, um, the key thing that you're missing, Lilith, is that nobody who is vegan, not a single vegan in the history of veganism, has gone back to eating meat. Because if that person was vegan, or, sorry, if that person does resume eating meat, they were never vegan. So your logic is flawed in your limited understanding of what veganism even means. So please do yourself the favor. This isn't for me. I don't care about you at all. But do yourself the favor and just like try to learn a little bit before you come in here and try to do this because I mean it's funny for one. Thank you, but oh my. Yeah, Xavier says, been vegan 11 years. Veganism's grown incredibly. Would never go back even if it pay me $1 billion. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, this was fun. This is fun. Thanks, Lilith. And again, in a year or two, when you come around and you have a good laugh about all this, feel free to jump on my live stream. I'll host you. We can have a chat about it. I swear, I'll be perfectly polite because I've been as dumb as you are right now before. Like we've all been there. We've all said stupid shit, so it's fine. If I was a Christian and become an atheist, does that mean I was never Christian? You sound insane. See, again, you have a very limited understanding here. You're thinking within the very limiting parameters of like religion or diet, when veganism is something that is absolutely outside of those limitations. Like you need to think bigger. Think bigger. You can do it. Think bigger. Don't put yourself in a box. Let your mind expand just a little bit. You'll be fine. Is it an echo chamber if people like Lilith disagree? I don't know. Maybe. Oh my. Yeah, good thing I stayed exactly. Answer the question? No. No. I've never been as dumb as Summers. Well, okay, maybe not as dumb, but I mean, I've said stupid shit. Yes, get out of the box. You can do it. You can do it. Look up the no true Scotsman fallacy. See why I sound like a moron. I'm familiar with all fallacies, and if I'm using any of them right now, it's on purpose. Trust me. So, just trying to relate to the audience, right? So if I'm trying to relate to you, I'm using your terms and I'm using your kind of flow to make sure that you're understanding where I'm coming from. Hi.
That poor guy can't get his card up for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll go give him a hand.
That's what I can tell you. He's
Okay.
like down at the end with a shovel, just like a tiny
Oh,
shovel.
really?
Yeah.
Shit. Guys, I'm gonna go. As good as this is, as good as this is, I'm gonna go because my neighbor's trying to get in. We have kind of like a shared driveway, and he can't get his car in because we got like a foot of snow on the ground. So I'm gonna go give him a hand because I'm not a selfish person. So I'm gonna go give him a hand, see if I can help him get his car in. Thank you, Lilith, for all that you've contributed here. Thank you to everyone else who has had fun here with us. And yeah, so Lilith,